Hello everyone, welcome to RS Craftworks and welcome to the current state of the RS Craftworks workshop. I swear it will look good eventually, once I actually get started on construction again. But for now, great guitar build off needs to be prioritised because 10 days left as of filming today, so yeah, better get a move on. So, here's the current state of the neck. Fretboard is glued on. There is glue everywhere, but it's going to get carved away, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. Got to shape the end, but got to carve the back end. Awful lot of wood here. But first things first, before I get started on carving, if I can get my words out, I'm going to cut these flush. Now, I'm not blessed with machinery at the moment. All my machinery is in deep storage, or I don't have any. So back to basics. Handsaw. Let's get straight to it. I'm in desperate need of a better workbench because this thing is annoying me. Shaky as hell. You try and put any torque on it or any sort of force on it, shakes all over the place, and you can probably hear it in my voice. I am seriously annoyed with this thing. So instead, we'll get straight to my favourite part of it and start carving away at it. It will take a lot longer doing it this way, but it's more under control. I'm not going to get frustrated and make an inevitable mistake. So, one key again. So that's what we're going to do. Get straight to carving. If you need a workout, try handsawing some wenge along its length, and you will be fit and may die afterwards as well. God, that was exhausting. But that's now the method. I was enjoying the carving, but at the same time, I don't have time to waste, so I really need to get that cut. And honestly, this workbench is just making things more difficult for me. You saw in that last clip, it just shakes. It's light and portable, which is a good thing, but at the same time does not help with when you actually want to do work on it. So I'm out of breath. I think I might grab some dinner before I do the next step, but it's on the other side. God. All right then, so I've actually sawed the other side now. It's a little bit more, ignore that. I totally did that by hand. Now I got my jigsaw out because too much effort, honestly, and it did the job fairly quickly. I didn't want to do it because I didn't think this was a very stable platform to use it on, and honestly this workbench isn't ideal for power tool use, but I risked it, made sure I was safe and made sure it was stable, managed to get it done. So now it's time for the fun part. Let's actually get to carving this. Alright then, so here is the neck. So looking a little bit like a neck now. So I managed to get a lot of it carved to shape. It is not quite flush. If I can somehow get that, you can sort of see there's still a lip there. What I will do is I will polish that up later. We're using some more delicate tools and might even end up using a ball bearing router bit to flush trim it. Flush trim. My goodness, my English is so terrible. But yeah, so this is all pretty much ready to go for the next stage of the car, which will be the backside. So, methods are differing, and one tool I just wanted to highlight, I've left it over here somewhere. This Shinto saw rasp. Honestly, the best tool I have ever used. I've only recently started using it. I bought this years ago from Crimson Guitars, and I never used it. But after using it today, and I used it to shape some plain handles and stuff like that, this is champion. If you're having trouble with grain direction and stuff like that, like sometimes, I mean, this stuff is horrible anyway, goes in one direction and suddenly decides to do a 180 or a 150 or a 162 or whatever angle, this stuff ignores all that and just crunches it down, chews it up and spits it out in the shape of very bad dust. Dust extraction is important, people. But yeah, so next step, I will show you the method. If any of you are familiar with the Luthier Tips to Jaw videos by Robbie O'Brien of O'Brien Guitars, I tend to use his method because that was the first video I saw on neck carving and I really enjoy it. So, next step. Okay, so the Luthier Tips to Jaw method, aka how I've butchered that method, involves using a rough rasp, very rough. This one's a hand stitched one from, I believe, Workshop Heaven. I've marked two places. One, this is about where my first fret is, just about matching with where my first fret is, and this mark in the back here, just about forward from my 16th fret. My neck to body joint is around the 16th fret, so I go just a bit forward of that. What I do is I just go at this where the first fret is, carve down, and as I'm carving down, I measure, and I'm aiming at this end. I want this to be at a final thickness of 21 millimeters, so I'll go for about 23, and here I want to be at 24 millimeters because it wants to be at around 22 when we're finished. So what more for it than to go at? Okay, so you can see here, just got a little divot, quite a wide divot as well, which is what I like because you can quite easily see where the minimum gap is there. Then if I somehow jiggle this around, I've also got a shallower one. I've got quite a shallow neck blank to begin with all the flattening that I've done. But you can see it's quite wide, quite obvious. So when I actually get to that, when this middle bit starts disappearing, that's when I want to stop everything and start measuring and making sure everything's straight and stuff. So now it's a case of actually going at it with my spoke shave, which is over in that direction. So let's get on with the job, shall we? So, after a couple of days of carving, and can't see that on camera, can you? I can start to see my own breath. Winter is coming. But anyway, after a couple of days carving, here's the state of my neck so far. It is starting to look more like a guitar neck. Feels a lot more comfortable than it did yesterday, but still some fettling that I need to do. Some ridges need to be gotten rid of. I need to actually flush up these bits, which I will do probably with a flush cut router just to keep it square. And then I need to actually create a volute here. I have no idea what I actually want to do with the volute. Usually I do try and emulate a Martin style diamond, but that's a bit before, because you can see sort of there's the end of the fretboard, there's the massive amount of material there. So I'll probably just go for a more traditional, or even try and do something a little bit weird. We shall see how I feel at the time. But yeah, flushed up a lot of it. I mean, this is slightly tapered. I know old Gibsons had tapered peg heads, but I want to straighten it up. But I do have something planned for the English headstock overlay. I have something planned, so we'll see how that goes. I need to sort of perfect the heel. Looks a bit amateur at the moment, but I will perfect that. So that'll do for 2 days, 2 evenings carving, 2 evenings after full-time work. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means I'll have a full day to work on this guitar because I need it. There's literally a week left. And then see how this goes and see how I fare with everyone else. I've already seen some of the completed stuff and I've got my work cut out for me, but I reckon I can get up there with the best of them. So, thank you for watching today's video. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video series, and I do plan to have a lot more content out there, including the making of, I swear, this shed will eventually become the RS Craftworks workshop, and I won't be freezing my butt off every time I come in here. But thanks again. Please follow me on Instagram as well. My Instagram is @RS Craftworks. I remembered this time. So, yeah, so everyone, take care of yourselves. Have a good evening, have a good morning, have a good night, whenever you're watching this. Did I say good afternoon? Probably not. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.